Welcome to another episode of Music Musings. As always, it's your host, Eric, with his favorite co-host, Pat.
How's everybody doing today?
I think we're all good today.
We're good? Good.
We're out here.
We're out here. I like that. Oh, man. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
It is a rainy Saturday where we are recording this today, and today we are recording this live in person, which doesn't happen that often anymore, but hey, love to see it.
Yeah, we got to mix it up a little bit more.
So let's get into today we're going to talk about artist profile, The Weeknd. Pop's Dark Knight.
I believe that is accurate. He has catalog, and we'll obviously just bring up his start, his rise to fame, the little in-betweens, all the adventures, and as well as his current standing in today's music. And I think to say without a doubt, he's Pop's Dark Knight in terms of really just hitting success in 2010 and then, to the icon that he is today, which is, we'll definitely get into all of that.
Yeah. Cannot wait. But before we jump into that, let's talk a little bit about some, housekeeping items.
Yes.
As we always do here at Music Musings. Let's talk about any new releases this week. What do we got?
Oh, okay. We got a new album by Licky Like. I never know how to pronounce that name. She released an album, The After Party. She's released music for almost the last 2 decades. She's great. Her single Lucky Again is, without a doubt a bop. You have to enjoy it. The Chainsmokers released an EP called Love Is Kind. It's usual Chainsmoker. If you remember the 2010s, they were unfortunately everywhere.
Everywhere.
Sorry, that
especially on radio.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, they were phenomenal. They but this EP, I still am unfortunately I'm expecting growth, but I'm not seeing it really. There's a formula that they're maintaining, and I'm just kind of like I'm not with that. But maybe it'll grow on us. Maybe it'll grow on me. Who knows? Another person that released an album. Well, 2 people actually. J Balvin and Ryan Castro, which is Amorta, which is a new album. I've mentioned J Balvin before. Him and Bad Bunny were rising in the 2010s in the reggaeton Latin space. He's one of my favorite reggaeton artists in the last 10 plus years. How I found Bad Bunny, ironically. So they released an album, heard some of it. It's pretty good. Tanto is pretty decent. It has DJ Snake on there using an old school 90s hip hop song that I want to find out if people know what it is. But they use a sample in there, and it's pretty catchy. And
it's a mystery.
Yeah, I know. So certain people will immediately clock it, but the next one is definitely a fan favorite, both of ours. Tori Kelly. She dropped 2 singles called one is called Control, and the other one is Dive, for her new album God Must Really Love Me, which drops June 12th. And I gotta say, I am vibing with Control. That is a hot girl summer song. It is, as Derek said,
hot girl summer song.
It's fantastic. It is a windows down, sunglasses up. You know what I mean? This is it.
Sunglasses up.
Hey, over your forehead.
Right.
Anyway, it's a great song. It definitely is a throwback to the 90s R&B hip hop sound. It's phenomenal. I was really surprised and blown away by that. But yes, that is the new releases that has been released this past Friday.
It's gonna be a hot girl summer.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So this week for our weekly musings, I've been listening to a few artists. I think I was influenced a little bit by you this week.
Okay.
I went back, listened to some Daft Punk.
Oof. Random
Access.
I
got back to that. Yeah, Random Access Memory.
Gotcha. I hear you.
I have it on vinyl, of course.
I know. I'm jealous.
So. Yeah, you got to listen to that at full volume.
Yes, absolutely.
Tori Kelly, surprisingly.
Ooh, okay.
Went back, listen to her hits. Great.
Yeah.
Well-produced albums and just bops all around. You can't go wrong. And super talented.
The voice her range is incredible.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
outstanding.
I getcha.
I did some Joe Bros.
Oh, really?
Excuse me. I listened to some Joe Bros. Their album that they came out with, I think it was a self-title about 2 years ago, was just a summer vibe, and I need that.
Yeah.
So I just listened to that. It was also produced by John Bellion.
I was about to bring that up. I was waiting for you to bring that up. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
My boy. No,
no, I think that's fair. We can say that.
5 Towns College, all right?
So, there you go. Right there.
And then, we went old school. We listened to Thrice because
you put me onto them. Yeah.
There's just some days you want to throw a couch at a wall, and you just need to listen to that.
Believe it or not, that is actually a perfect analogy. I like that.
So there you are.
Yeah. Yes.
What about you? What have you been?
Oh man, this is where your influence played a factor. Bad Sons. I can't stop. Cardiac Arrest. It's great. A few other songs that I told you about last episode. Great stuff. Daft Punk, Homework, and Random Access Memories. It's been in my ears. I've been listening to, like I said, on disc 2, there's these remixes by other DJs and producers. I've been listening to their versions of their songs. Very good. I've been going back to early 2014, like Tiesto. The EDM sound is just I can't help it. Tiesto, fantastic. I think last year he decided to go back to trance music, and everybody's lost their mind because that's kind of what got him his rise to fame. But loving that. And last but not least is Naomi Sharon. Now this one is a doozy because I mention her here and there, but she's a fantastic singer. She's from I think Canada. She signed to Drake's label OVO Sound. She's a phenomenal singer. I've added a few songs to the music podcast playlist on Spotify, so if you want to give it a shot, she has great music. She's fantastic. She knows how to just really create great music. If you get a chance to give her a shot. But that's what I've been rocking with all week.
Nice. I gotta check her out.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
How did our survey or poll do from last week?
Last week. I appreciate you guys contributing and playing part of the poll. You guys did a great job. I'm gonna shout out the results. It was anonymous.
So we don't know who you are.
So I don't know who you are. So I'm gonna speed run the results of the poll and about live music events. And the first question was, how often do you attend live music? 100% of y'all said rarely. That kind of makes me a little sad. But unfortunately, I'm in the same group. Question number 2, how do you enjoy live music? Believe it or not, it's a tie. Most people said between concerts and nightclubs and raves is 50-50. I was really shocked by that. What is your favorite music genre to experience live? It was a tie again with rock and electronic music. That was interesting. How do you usually find about music concerts and festivals? Everybody says social media. Everybody said that 100%. How often? How would you rate your overall satisfaction with live music events you've attended? Most of y'all, if not 100% of y'all, said satisfied, which I'm glad to hear that. And the last question: what is the most important factor for you when you attending a live music event? 50-50 between sound quality and artist performance. Which I was surprised by sound quality.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. I was expecting people to say atmosphere and venue, and then artist performance. But I was really impressed
because, and I'm glad that that's the thing, because absolutely sound quality needs to be up there.
Yes,
you're going to these things, and you're paying all this money.
Yeah,
I need to hear what I want.
Yes,
because listen, we've both been there. One of my most favorite bands, which we all know now, the 1975. I went to go see them at Barclays Center.
Yeah.
Awful.
What?
Ruined that experience.
They didn't. They just was it?
Well, and let me rephrase this. I was with some friends. Had a great time with friends, and my brother was there, and I was awesome. Sound quality wise, terrible. Couldn't hear him. It was muffled.
Oh man.
Terrible.
Really?
And we even we found our way. We got lower because we were up pretty high. We got down lower. Still bad.
Really?
Terrible. And nothing against Barclays Center. I've been there for a couple basketball games, and that's a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
for venue for sound,
Yeah.
terrible.
That's
And I think that's important because I think that really dictates your experience.
Yeah, 100%. No, you're right. You're absolutely
sound
correct.
quality's garbage.
Yeah, if the production isn't designed to balance the sound to whether it's like making sure there's either speakers or whether there is the ability for everyone in the back or in the other rows who may not have the front row seat.
Or even the sound engineer.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can have all the most advanced technology, and if that person doesn't know how to do it,
Yeah. It's like if you put like you can you're 100% right. Like if you put all these advanced tools in music production or sound quality or mixing engineering, and they don't know how to, they don't know the difference between low pass and high pass.
Right.
We got a problem.
You gotta leave.
Yes, you gotta leave.
You gotta leave the building.
Yes, that is very true. That's right.
You gotta leave.
Oh man, I'll stop. Yes, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Oh man.
Well,
yes.
anyway, so that's our musings. I got some homework to do. I'm gonna listen to a few artists you named.
I think I'm gonna.
I
think I might throw a couch. I'm gonna listen to Thrice a little bit.
Every once in a while, you got to throw a couch at a wall. It's fine. But let's jump into our first segment for today for our Dark Night of Pop, The Weeknd. And we'll start off with The Weeknd. Who is he, and how did this journey start? So, why don't you take the lead here,
please? All right. So, I am a huge fan of The Weeknd, and Elise told me I had to bring this up. We're actually share the same birthday.
Wow.
Yes, he's 1 year older than me. We share the same birthday.
We gotta call him up.
Yeah. But I've been following his career from the beginning. Like I said, who is The Weeknd and how did the journey start? From anonymous mixtapes such as the House of Balloons, uploaded online, and we're talking about the stadium tours, the Super Bowl performances, redefining pop and R&B for a generation. Let's start from the beginning. Before he was The Weeknd, he was known as Abel Tesfaye. I hope I'm not butchering his last name. Born in Toronto in 1990 to Ethiopian immigrant parents. Abel grew up with Ethiopian music, soul records, and obviously Michael Jackson. You can just tell the influences there. It's like
obviously
spot on. That blended so many different influences that became his sound. And this is where the beginning of his career and his legend begins. Now, around 2010s, this is when like songs was popping up under the name Weeknd online, and I used to be in the early 2010s, the mixtape era, where everybody was releasing all their mixtapes online just to make a name for themselves, make a splash. And I remember the House of Balloons one, which is, I was like, who is this singer? It's like really edgy, and I was like, I didn't even know who he was really at the time. This is like 2009, 2010. And I was like, who's this guy releasing like music? And it's like super vibey, but you could tell there's something like unique and a little dark to his sound. But that's what The Weeknd was doing. He was just releasing mixtapes online. And it was like very dark and cinematic. And it's like the lyrics were talking about all kinds of complex topics about loneliness, fame, addiction, and just like emotional trauma. So this guy was making a splash just doing that. So that's where that's how like his name was starting to bubble in the early 2010s.
And just to pause, I remember early 2000s, early 90s, or not early 90s because I was a baby at that time.
We both were.
Like late 90s, early 2000s. I'm sure this has always gone. But like mixtapes were the way that artists kind of got their name out there, right? Like they would go to these shows with other big artists, hand out their mixtapes, which were just these rough draft of like what songs were. Usually they would record these at home if they had like their own setup or whatever. And it was such a unique way of getting your name out there versus now where it's people have access to better recording equipment. And they usually will use social media
to promote,
to get their stuff out there. And it's, I don't know what it is. I guess I'm biased because I come from this generation of mixtapes. But like,
me too.
I don't like it. I don't like the social media. Getting your way out there. It seems artificial and fake.
It does. And you're absolutely correct. Because that's in the mid 2000s, early 2010s, that's how like the mixtape era was like, it went online. Instead of like as you said, like people were waiting at stadiums or concerts and handing out their CDs and tapes. Now the concept, when we're talking about MySpace, we're talking about Instagram, and social media was starting to come into factor. There were certain websites that were uploaded. People were allowed to upload their mixtapes, and that's how like I was finding out about so many artists. So like the Drakes, the Kendrick Lamars, the everybody that we know is like famous, and the Weeknd is no different. That's how I discovered them, because like that's how I like heard of their names. And for me as a fan, like oh, who's this new mixtape guy? I'm like, oh, who's this guy? And then all of a sudden, it's like you became a part of their like core fan base at the beginning.
That was the start.
Yeah. So the Kendrick Lamars, the Weeknds, like I don't think I'm not going to say this like I'm going to wear a T-shirt like I'm a fan from the beginning, but I was. Because I remember they were just uploading and no one knew who they were, to now they're at stadiums. Now they're headlining Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about in a little bit. But yes, you're absolutely right. The mixtape era felt personal, and it felt like very organic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah. So now we're going one a little further, and we're talking about The Weeknd, and he's getting his start. He's making this music. He's making a little bit of a splash. He's making people are going like, who is this guy? Who is this person? They have no idea, because he was being very mysterious and very like particular with how his music was being released. And one of the biggest turning points is when Drake noticed him and then to just endorsed him, publicly supported him.
Scooped him up.
Yeah, 100%. We'll get into that. And that cosign put The Weeknd in the spotlight like overnight. So all of a sudden, Drake brought in The Weeknd as a collaborator, as a writer, backup vocalist, and and he featured him on the album Take Care, which was Drake's second major studio project. And we're talking about The Weeknd is now in front of the cameras. Music industry is like, oh, this is the guy. This is the mixtape guy that was dropping on these R&B music. And labels were losing their mind. Fans were like going crazy for this R&B artist that was also from Toronto. But his style was very unique. It was blending elements of like sounds and genres we never heard before. So Drake was bringing him on, and he was starting to help him out with releasing. I say 30% of Take Care was pretty much Weeknd's involvement, which is why that album did so well.
Yeah,
he wrote a lot of the music. He was doing a lot of the vocals. He actually featured on it. It was great. And Drake at the time was starting a record label called OVO Sound. And anyone who knows about The Weeknd, he liked to have this moniker called XO. So there was a conversation calling OVO XO. Yep. See? And that was that little collaboration was like, these two are titans. They're like these two together is like a great duo for music. So this is when like everybody was starting to get excited, and now this is where a little bit of my opinion is going to shine.
Here we go.
Now, OVO Sound, unfortunately, I'm probably going to step on a few toes when I say this, because there are some Drake fans. And don't get upset, because I used to be a Drake fan too, and he lost me at one point. The OVO Sound label was not really a label in the sense of pushing an artist's sounds forward. The way it works, and this breaks my heart because there's artists such as Naomi Sharon, as I mentioned, Party Next Door, Majid Jordan, Roy Woods, I can keep going.
Yeah.
They're assigned to OVO Sound, but the problem is their artists, their best music has, before they can release it, Drake gets first pick. And that hurts.
Wait, so he gets to, they make this music, right?
Whether they write it or they have a song idea. Yep.
So they write it, make it, whatever. They have to present it to him
first,
essentially.
Yep.
And then he picks
whatever it is. Let's say you had 12. Yeah, like if you said, let's say you had 10 songs, right? I'm not going to single out a single artist, but let's say you have 10 songs, and I'm like, hey, I'm about to drop this album. I have 10 songs here. I think this is great. Drake says like, I want 1, 3, and 8.
Like where he just takes it.
Takes the whole thing. Whether he takes the idea, whether he takes the songs, whether he writes those lyrics. But the trade-off is that they get paid a salary, so it keeps them on the label. Now, that is where there's the allegations about the OVO sweatshop, because the artists who produce, that's why like when you hear a lot of these artists that I mentioned before, a lot of their music was originally like you can hear the influence. You can hear, okay, that sounds like Drake because that's where his sound was. Now, this is not a shot at anybody, but if both parties are 100% on board, by all means.
Sure.
But now back to the Weeknd, where does he fall? Now, he was starting to get buzz, and he worked on Take Care, and that became a global phenomenon, and it was just a great success. Now, Weeknd had a choice because all these labels are trying to sign him. Drake tried to sign him too. He said, hey, join my label, and you can be a part of this. So that means, and this is something that I know is going to upset Derek, that means all the songs that you know by The Weeknd would have been Drake's music. He said that before I finished the sentence.
It's absolutely not.
So it's no shame, but that's how people prefer to do the things. But so The Weeknd saw that and knew that that would be his future. And he decided to take a bet on himself and decided not to sign OVO Sound, but went with Republic Records, which is under UMG, Universal Music Group. So he took a bet on himself, and that's when the career started. So we're talking about 2012. He decided, you know what, the world needs to hear me.
Yeah.
And that's a story that, you know, and going forward is the legend, which we'll get into a little more about. Yeah. Okay. Trust me, this is I'm not taking a shot at Drake. I'm not taking a shot at the other OVO artists and label. There are people who prefer to do that, and that is their choice. I do not agree, but it's their music, it's their artistry, and if they're comfortable with that, then by all means, I'll let that be. So, but yeah. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah. So The Weeknd now we're talking about now becoming the global star. All right. We're talking about the phenom in the 2010s. His music production, his sound was dark. It's minimal, but over time he started to expand his idea. He started to mix in glossy 80s synths, huge choruses, danceable beats. We're talking about like cinematic blockbuster production. His music was now, instead of being moody and dark like House of Balloons and Thursday, he's starting to sound more radio friendly, but he still kept that edge, which is what separated him from the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I remember hearing him on the radio, which I was like, oh, interesting. But his sound and his vocal ability, because he's also a very talented singer.
Yeah.
But you're right. He has this specific dark, edgy sounds in every one of his songs. And I think and he's a really good storyteller. So it's just a unique sound, even when you hear it on the radio. It's so much different than everything else that's out there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And yeah, I remember, listening to him in 2010 and all these songs coming out on the radio. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I truly was like, this is the next Michael Jackson right here.
Ooh, I like that. I like that comparison. So yes, you're right. So he's released mixtapes and albums such as mixtapes wise House of Balloons, which is in 2011, Thursday, Echoes of Silence, that was pretty good. He then released those back on streaming platforms under the album name Trilogy, which is just a remastered version of the albums. The mixtapes. And then when you talk about the albums, you're talking about Kissland in 2013, Beauty Behind the Madness in 2015. Starboy 2016. See, yeah, there we go. Starboy, yeah. Then My Dear Melancholy, which is 2018. It was more of an EP because it was like 5 songs.
Yeah.
After Hours in 2020.
Love that.
After Hours does not get as much love as I wish it does. But Dawn FM. Yeah, see? In 2022. Yeah. And then Hurry Up Tomorrow, which was in 2025, which is good. That is also a great album.
Yeah.
But the album that really, believe it or not, that put him on the map was Beauty Behind the Madness in 2015 with the classic single Can't Feel My Face. Now, this is the album that really was like, okay, he's now making a splash. He's his own man. He's his own artist. He's like, this is me. This is my story. I'm producing all this. And he did a great job. Him and his team did a great job of really launching an album and launching a career and a sound. Yeah. But even though that was the album and he won some awards for that, Starboy. There we go.
That's the album.
Yeah, that's the album. I was blown away and I was impressed. I was super impressed Like, go ahead, please take it away.
No, I mean, when I heard this album, I mean, when I heard Starboy by itself, the song
definitely,
single with Daft Punk, I'm like, what is this guy doing? And I'm like, oh, he knows what he's doing exactly. The entire album is a bop.
Yes,
it's a dark,
dark
boy,
dark boy. I like that.
bop.
100%. It was such a impression. Like, I was like, him working with Daft Punk, and I was thinking to myself, because like the version of the Weeknd in my head is, like I said, the Thursday House Balloons, which is like dark and minimal, and I'm like, him with like Daft Punk, and then in the 80s, and then I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
No. He hit a groove. He hit a groove, and I was impressed. I was so happy as a fan. He was just taken away. Like Starboy's album, we're talking about Starboy, Party Monster, Secrets. Like, there's so many great
6 Feet Under.
6 Feet Under, with like, we're talking so many great tracks, and then I feel coming at the end is a fantastic ending.
And if you have not heard this album, please stop this podcast right now and go listen to the album all the way through at least 2 times.
Yes. And then come back. Yes.
And listen, because
pause it right now. Pause the
please
episode.
Pause.
Go ahead, do yourself a favor.
Leave.
Yes, leave. Pause. It's okay. Pause it right now. Go and enjoy Starboy, and not only listen it forward to back, and then back to front.
Right.
Then come back.
Right.
And then we can talk.
Yeah, because honestly, you have to hear this album.
Mm-hmm.
It's that good. Mm-hmm. The production value is unreal.
Yeah.
And just the songwriting, the lyrics on it, and the storytelling is
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And Weeknd did not pull any punches. His themes, obviously, we're talking about fame, excess, loneliness, ego, paranoia, relationship, self-destruction. Like, but the thing is, that's crazy, because that is the Weeknd's core at his lyricism and at his like themes and artistry. That is him, which I love that.
And I think, that's something I really like about the Weeknd, is just his ability to, it's his sound.
Mm-hmm.
His sound has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in some aspects, sure, but like, it's still
the core.
him.
Yes.
And it always will be him.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that was phenomenal, because he was showing how versatile he is without compromising who he was.
Right.
And like you said on the production, like, we're talking about 80s, we're talking about synth pop, we're talking about R&B. He had like like funk influences, trap drums. Like this album was like I was really impressed, because I was like, I did not see this coming. And I was like rocking with him in 2011 when I was downloading off of datpiff.com and hot new hip hop.com. See, I'm exposing my age a little bit, but that's where I used to get my mixtapes from. So that's how I discovered him. And to hear the evolution of his artistry 5 years later, I would never have thought that guy was going to be with Daft Punk.
Yeah.
I would never, Lana Del Rey, like, him? Like, I was
excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so we're talking, exactly. Like, these like songs were like, it pushed him into the mainstream, like, quick.
And he has his own like pocket of sound, meaning he's still unique to this day.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many artists who sound like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that gives him this unique ability of, when he's coming on to play a show, it's like, there's nobody else that sounds like you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have this edge over everyone else.
Right.
But like, your stuff's also really good. Like, I want to hear it.
Yes. That is the Weeknd's unique talent, and his team, and he's just a great artist. And it makes me like so happy to see like his success and move on to like such like R&B / pop dominance.
And I'm gonna say this,
go for it,
because he is very popular. He has a lot of success. He is a very famous artist, right?
Mm.
But even that, I still think he's underrated.
See, there we go. Please keep going.
No, like he should be at the level of like Kanye.
Ooh.
Or
so say more.
And I have feelings about Kanye and A.
Yeah, we both do.
I'm going to reserve them, but
yes,
as an artist,
yeah,
Kanye can write songs and like his production value is fantastic, sure.
Right.
But I think The Weeknd is better.
There's no disagreement with that. I don't think there's any.
But he's not as big as Kanye.
No, and
that's what I mean.
Yeah, and I think a part of that, one, I first of all, I 100% agree, and I think the other part of it, I think it's intentional. I think it's intentional. The mysterious, like by The Weeknd himself? I think himself. I think he likes the mysterious element about him, but he's without a doubt very underrated. And I think,
like when you said that, I just thought of him like going into a cave and like coming out.
Yeah, like.
And then he makes a new album. It's like, oh my God, and he goes back into his cave.
Exactly. Like 100%. Like, but think about it. If The Weeknd right now said, I'm doing an album with Daft Punk tomorrow, and the internet would, the servers would crash.
Explode.
Exactly. Instagram is down for a day.
Spotify would be down all day.
Yeah, 100%. It would crash. They would overwhelm. But that's
right.
His power in music and in the industry, because he's cultivated such a catalog, such an influence, and his sound is so it's powerful. Like, but yeah, so we'll keep going. We'll talk more. But you're right. It's he's developed a sound, and even though his lyrics are talking about some heavy topics, but he became his superpower. That became his powerful element, is that he blended darkness with pop and R&B, and no one was really doing that at the time. And then also just his singing ability and talent. So he became such a phenomenal, like 2010s, he dominated.
Yeah,
R&B and pop, I like, you had to compete against a Titan.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So, but now we move on a little bit further in his career, and we're talking about After Hours and Dawn FM.
Yeah.
Cultural domination. Like in 2020, he then, I think some people argue that is his masterpiece, and I can understand where
I can see that.
Yeah, After Hours.
Sure.
So we're talking about like, and everyone's when we thinking about After Hours, you're obviously thinking about the Super Bowl, which we'll get to in a minute. This is lit where he's like, I'm leaning into the retro synth wave. I'm leaning into that like edgy villain, Vegas, anti-heroes type sound. Like he's really going there. And everybody knows the classic single and Blinding Lights. It just took it away.
Yeah.
He was like showing that I'm gonna keep doing this. And it was like he was understanding that Starboy was his sound. Starboy is my sound, and you know what? I'm gonna lean a little further into the little edginess of him.
Let me go deeper with this. Go one deeper.
Yes, and it was amazing. And we're talking about After Hours. We're talking about track list: Alone Again, Too Late, Hardest to Love, Scared to Live, Snow Child. I think that was one of my favorites. Escape from LA, also another favorite of mine. Heartless. Gosh, I forgot how beautiful
a lot of these.
Yeah, I know.
Favorites of mine.
Faith, Blinding Lights, Save Your Tears, and Love. Ooh. See. All right, stop. All right. After, yeah. This whole album, wonderful.
So we're gonna tell you again. Stop the podcast. Go listen to Starboy first, and then After Hours, and then Dawn FM.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a good
right.
Yes.
And then come back.
Then come back, and then we can talk. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Please don't leave.
Oh man, but yeah. So we're talking about like After Hours. It's such a like phenomenon, in my opinion. Out of all these track lists, what do you think is, if you had to say one song in particular defines that album? What is your favorite?
I mean, for me, it's gonna be.
Yeah, see, I'm over here thinking about it as I was talking about the track list. I'm like, there's a lot of,
because I really like Heartless.
Heartless,
I like Escape from LA.
That is good. That is a good one.
I mean, and Blinding Lights. I mean, that's that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the single.
Yeah, I'm stuck between Escape from LA and Save Your Tears, unfortunately. It is.
Save Your Tears too.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Blind Lights obviously After Hours, but I think it's between Escape from LA and Save Your Tears. That is my favorite. My takeaways from this.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Save Your Tears.
Oof.
That's it.
All right. Fair enough. We're just having a fan moment now.
Fan.
Yeah, 100%. But then we have the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl moment.
Super Bowl.
You want to take this one?
Yeah. 2021, The Weeknd performed at Super Bowl halftime show. Instead of playing it safe, he leaned fully into his strange cinematic world. And it was awesome. The production value of this was insane. The beard hallway scene instantly became a meme online, which is never a bad thing.
I remember that one. It was right after the Super Bowl too. Instagram was using that meme left and right.
All the time. But the performance also showed how complete his artistic vision had become. It wasn't just a singer, right, performing songs. It was world building. Every album had its own aesthetic, colors, fashion, emotional atmosphere, and very few artists commit to concepts at that level. I think they have like a basic theme, and maybe they have costumes or dress a certain way because of that. But he leans right in and builds entire worlds and structures.
Right.
So it was impressive, and I remember watching that because Super Bowl. I'm not a huge football guy anymore, but just watching the halftime shows is always fun.
Yeah.
And most of the time they're not great.
No.
There's a lot of trying to play a show in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Live with all these things you're trying to do. It's very hard. But he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Or a football stadium.
Yeah. I think close enough.
So it was impressive, and I remember watching that and really enjoying it.
Yeah. It was I remember I was fangirling. Yeah, I was like super excited. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny. I was like, for me, like I said, when I keep talking about the mixtape era, I know this is strange for some people, but I was like, I remember like when his career was starting, and he was like this mysterious, like moody guy, and then he became this. Seeing him on the Super Bowl, like I'm not the Weeknd, but to see it there, it feels like I was a part of the journey.
Yeah,
and I loved it from the Beauty Behind the Madness when he dropped that, and then Starboy, then like After Hours. I was just like, at that moment, I felt immense joy watching this.
Yeah,
and but it was a phenomenal Super Bowl moment. And fun fact, and we bring up Drake one more time.
Oh God.
Believe it, Drake has mentored, and here's a fun fact: Drake has mentored and helped at the early stages of careers like Kendrick Lamar, The Weeknd, and Bad Bunny, who have all headlined the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So,
Sure.
Thank you. I'll say that. That's the one time I'll say Drake. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. You gave us, in some way, shape, or form, you gave us some phenomenal Super Bowl performances. Thank you. Anyway. But, and then I think we move on to, I think we can argue his best work of art.
Yes. And for Dawn FM. I love this part of the album that we're going to speak about, but for Dawn FM, it really feels like a surreal radio broadcast guiding the listeners through the afterlife. They have Jim Carrey acting at like a strange late night radio host and spiritual narrator, which it really adds this awesome element to this album. Because you listen to it, and it brings me back to like when we were younger, and like albums used to do this. They had like little transition bits in between the songs and have like somebody talk or whatever it was, right? And this is just cool because it really brings you into this album.
Yeah.
Meaning like you really believe this story, and you're kind of like captivated by what's happening here. And it's something that I wish more artists would do.
Right.
Like really lean into your concept, and like it's not just about the music. I mean, 90% of it is, but like there's a 10% of production value there, and I think he really leaned into that.
Yeah, it was. You're right, absolutely. And the fact that like it was so odd, but it felt organic, and it felt like it fit like a puzzle piece. Like it was just like, wow, this is like that concept of like, oh, I'm gonna just have Believe it or not, I actually didn't know it was Jim Carrey until like later after the album came out. That was narrating. I was like, that voice sounds familiar. But the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna just like, and it's kind of spooky, but at the same time, you want to like dance to it.
Yeah.
Like, and that is just. But then it goes back to the House of Balloons, Thursday, and like Echoes of Silence days, because that was always his element. His element was eerie, but dark, but moody, but also catchy and infectious. And that was always his vibe. And then with this, it was like he took everything that he was doing, and he's like, I'm gonna mix it all in one.
Yep.
This is, I think, Dawn FM was a buildup with all those other projects being the foundation, and then he drops this. And we're talking about such great tracks. We're talking about Dawn FM, the Gasoline, How Do I Make You Love Me, Take My Breath, Sacrifice, personal favorite of mine. Tale by
Quincy.
Yeah. And Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones
is on it.
Yes.
Wild.
Yeah, I know. Like exactly. Like right there. And then Out of Time. Here we go again with Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
Best Friends. Is it Someone Else? Starry Eyes. Every Angel is Terrifying. Don't Break My Heart. I Heard You're Married with Lil Wayne. Less Than Zero, which is Elisa's favorite, and it's growing on me.
Okay.
Because I understand. And then Phantom Regret with Jim Carrey as the bringing it back in, and and then there's the deluxe tracks with just the extended version of Take My Breath, Moth to Flame with Swedish House Mafia, which was like the 2010s like EDM scene.
Nice.
And One Right Now with Post Malone. Now, when we talk about Dawn FM, when we're talking about just how of a sheer perfect project it is, what do you think is the standalone album, a standalone track on?
Can't ask me that.
Sorry.
I don't know. I kind of like Sacrifice.
Yep. I get that. Mm-hmm.
Is there somebody else? Mm-hmm. Someone else?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And Don't Break My Heart. I'm kind of there too.
Yeah. See, I was waiting for you to bring that up. And fun fact, actually, Weeknd produced that.
See,
there,
multi-talented.
Yeah, I didn't know it was. I was, I'm a music nerd, and everybody, so is Derek.
Mm-hmm.
I just went into the details, and I was like, who was the production? I love learning like what other producers and every hand that goes into releasing an album. And I found out that he led the production on this. I was really impressed, and shout out to you, Weeknd. That was a great job.
He's listening.
Yeah, I'm sure. He has time to listen.
He's our number one fan.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'd probably have a fangirl moment. I'll pass out.
Okay. Well, don't do that.
Please. But yeah, so we're talking about his album. He's leaning further into the synth pop sound, the funk, the disco, especially electronic music, 80s inspired, sound. But the themes are heavy. Like we're talking about regret, mortality, heartbreak, emotional denial. Moving towards accepting. It's still him yet again at the core.
Yep.
Yeah.
Has not changed.
No.
Still him.
Yeah, it's just the production value was just like pure quality.
Ridiculous.
Huh?
I said ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like that's why I had to start looking. I was like looking at all these producers and all these hands, and I'm like, this was made with like serious like firepower. In terms of like talent and skills across the board. So just, I think within the fan group of Weeknd, I think people consider this his best project.
I could see why.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I 100% agree.
I can, same.
But it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Contender.
Yeah. So I can generally, for me, I think I can go back and forth between Starboy and Dawn FM.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the, like, I think it's a tough, and like After Hours is like hard, like it's right seconds right there. It. But it's between these two, and I think it's tough. It's tough to really put a place on all the amazing feats he's done in past 16 years.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah,
wild.
Yeah. So. But like you said, we talked about the album. It was a unique concept with Jim Carrey playing the narrator as his radio station, which is like a purgatory kind of situation. It was creating a unique experience because I remember listening to it, just like AirPods in, and I'm just at home, and I'm listening, and I'm like, I felt like I was a part of that journey, and and that I think that might have been the intention, was like a listening experience from start to finish. But yeah, it was such a great project. Critics was like considering it wonderful. It was just like the it's such a vibe, and the album was considered like a bold artistic statement, prioritizing artistic vision over consistent radio friendly bangers. Yet it still garnered 500 million streams shortly within a release, just within release.
Wild.
That's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, we've seen this guy just constantly just dominate. So yeah,
it's unreal.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So yeah, let's, I guess, influence, his legacy,
and
controversies.
Yeah.
I mean, influence. He's helped reshape, I think, a lot of the modern pop and R&B world. Right, you can hear echoes of the sound in many new artists today, although no one has really replicated him 100%, I would say.
No. But there's been some people who attempted.
Yeah, and absolutely, and they get close, and you have elements of it.
Yeah,
but no one. You're not him. His dark synth production, emotionally detached vocals, vulnerable lyrics. That style, that's really exploded after his rise. And I mean, commercially, he's one of the biggest streaming artists on.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, 100%.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. You're right. Yeah.
So it's, despite all that fame, he keeps, like what I was saying, I think earlier, is just a certain distance from the public, where he kind of like releases music, goes back into his cave.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But I think that adds, right? And
mystery.
We both said this. It's that mystery around him.
Yeah.
And his whole persona.
I'm assuming it's intentional, because it's like, social media, fans, everybody is just like constantly looking for any piece of information. And yet it's like very tight-lipped. And I think it's intentional. I think he is very particular, and him and his team is very particular with what information is released at what time.
And I think you have to be intentional, because if you're this famous at that level, there's no way you cannot be noticed. You know what I mean? So like, he probably has systems in place where it's like, you're not going to know what I don't want you to know certain things. You're not going to know about it. So yeah, I agree. I think he has to be very intentional with that.
Yeah.
So, but that adds to it. That adds to his character, his persona that he's trying to get out there. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And you brought up the point about legacy. And as of early 2026, The Weeknd has won over 75 major music awards throughout his career, including 4 Grammy Awards, 22 Juno Awards, 20 Billboard Music Awards, 6 American Music Awards. He is also a 5-time Guinness World Record holder, and was nominated on was nominated for an Academy Award.
Wow.
Yeah, like this, we're talking like within 16 years, this guy has fantastically just set the record, and then at the same time never compromised. This whole vision, this idea, is sound. It's evolved 100%. It's definitely evolved from the early beginning of his career, but he became something like a phenomenal, like overnight.
Yep.
Like, to me, I was just super happy watching the beginning of his career to where he is now. So yeah.
I mean, it's just, and the controversy, I think, some of it is he boycotted the Grammy Awards starting back in 2021 after his album After Hours and his hit song Blinding Lights received 0 nominations. He called the Recording Academy corrupt, demanded transparency due to secretive voting committees, alleging racial bias and lack of inclusion, which... Yes. Like, that's ridiculous.
Right. We've talked about that before, how there is unique voting that happens, and I think unique was too polite.
Way too polite.
Yeah, I know. I heard myself as I said it. But it was like, there's always been controversy, which, the Academy, has, I'm sorry, Grammys have constantly have done in the past, where there's certain artists that were, whether they were by metrics, whether by cultural shift and impact,
Yeah.
that should have been at least minimum nominated. But so The Weeknd, yeah, After Hours, which, believe it or not, was like, at minimum it deserved to be nominated. But it was, even though Blinding Lights was breaking records as one of the most successful songs in Billboard history, it was completely ignored for major Grammy categories. And and this led to The Weeknd starting this boycott. And we're talking about, like, he's criticized the secret committees within the Academy that has the power to change nomination votes made by general membership. And he's also accused them of lack of transparency. And he's talking about, like, accusing them of corruption, lack of transparency, unfairness, specifically highlighting that Black artists are often overlooked in major categories, which is, and unfortunately, it's a little true.
It's true.
Yeah. And a little bit of him as well is, there's been controversies with his career is getting scrutiny for his lyrics and persona that referenced and glamorized to some degree. Some people argue glamorized drug use, cocaine, ketamine, MDMA, and which later he described as a crutch for his writing. So yeah, you're right, and some people can argue, and I think I'll bring up this song that The Weeknd did, which was hilarious. Can't Feel My Face, which everyone knows is a song pretty much about cocaine. Then I think it, believe it or not, and this is because of Kids Bop era, people didn't know what. I'm sorry, some people didn't really listen to the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids, was it the Nickelodeon Awards or Kids something? It was like that, like
something.
Yeah, like he won an award in that over that song, and people were like, do you know what he's singing about? And then he released a song. I forgot which song he was featured on. And I'm going to quote his lyrics. He says, "And I won a Kids Award singing a song about being numb on a bag of blow."
Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
kid approved.
Kid approved. And this is why parents sometimes have to listen to some of the kids, the music they listen to.
You really got to listen.
Yeah. Not everything needs to be Kids Bop.
No. Now, if we could do away with that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
If we could just do away
Do they
with that.
still make those?
Yes, they do.
God.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great at all.
Anyway, but moving on. So those are some of the controversies. We talked about the ups, the beginning of his career. We talked about, a lot of different, elements of, evolution within his career.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts? Just looking over everything we talked about.
So a couple things. I think here's a very unique artist who has made his own scene in the music industry, which by itself is something I think that's very unique and takes a lot of talent to do, because we're in a very saturated music industry where unless you're a specific sound, you don't get popular by the industry who decides that. But here's a guy who said, no, I'm not going to follow by what you say. I'm going to do my thing, stick to my sound, stick to my, how I produce my music.
Yeah.
I have a vision. I have a plan. I'm going to stick to it. And he did.
Yeah.
And I think it's true. And you hear that through every one of his albums. You can pick out his sound 100 times. It's very,
it's very particular,
noticeable and unique.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, he's fascinating. And for me, at least, I really enjoy his music because of his storytelling and the production value he puts into his songs and the effort that he just puts into it.
Yeah.
Which just shows like he really, in a way, cares about the stuff he's putting out.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that's something that I care more about, and I respect him a lot for doing that.
Yeah, that goes on that. I agree with you. Yeah.
What about you?
As I said before, watching this guy from the beginning, House of Balloons, I keep referencing that. And if anyone has a chance, go listen to it. You will see that. And when I've said this to other people who develop, I don't fault them for discovering The Weeknd on Starboy and After Hours and Dawn FM. I don't blame them at all. I'm just glad you like his music, but I think the concept of what he was doing at the beginning, that's always been what I've experienced from him. So I always know him for that. But to see him go from that to this mysterious guy, anonymous online, to just headlining the Super Bowl, to working with, Daft Punk, Quincy Jones, and like all kinds of like artists and developed a sound that is so unique to him. And for me, it's just I'm the word impressed is not define how I feel. He's I think he's just constantly kept raising the bar, and I think he's without a doubt one of the most talented artists of this generation. And
Absolutely.
he's, and I think I'm just glad he took a bet on himself in 2012. He's a great singer, he's a great writer, he's a great collaborator, and he knows how to execute a vision. And I'm just happy that he did that. He bet on himself. And that's the, and now we know what he was like. So, I'm glad Don't Break My Heart was not sung by Drake. No offense to Drake again.
Offense to Drake.
But yeah.
Love that. So
yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, we came down and discussed everything, the highs, the lows, the beginning of his career. And I think it's safe to say that he is, the internet, has made him a legend. He's a voice of our generation. I think that's fair. The 2010s and 2020s pop. He's, he's the Dark Knight of pop. His songwriting gave nightlife a darker emotional language, which is true because it's all, and I get it. Everybody thinks pop is all glamorous and, bubblegum pop, but then there is elements about he's showing the spectrum of humanity. Like there's other sides. And that vulnerability is, without a doubt, he's learned how to turn his vulnerability into a spectacle without losing the pain at the center, because that's his strength.
Yeah.
So I think that he is pop's Dark Knight. He's there when we need him. We never thanked him, and perhaps he doesn't want us to.
Exactly. Well said. Well said.
Oh man, yeah. But without a doubt, one of the best of a generation, and he's a titan in his own right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope he keeps coming out with new stuff every so often. Comes out of that cave.
Yeah.
Drops off some music and then goes back.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So
yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Music Musings. As always, please follow us on all the socials, Music Musings Podcast, and please check out our website. We'll have always we'll have a poll up, update it always with new episodes that come out. Anything else will be there. So check out our website. We'll be linked in the podcast bio when this comes out. And please email us if you have any questions or ideas.
Yes, absolutely. Please, you can reach out to us to our Gmail, musicmusicspodcast@gmail.com, or you can send a message to us directly on the website as well. So you have options.
Many options.
Any options.
All right. We'll catch you next time.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you have an idea for an intro or an outro that we could play on our show, please send to musicmusingspodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please email us at musicmusingspodcast@gmail.com.